just want to talk about something that if you watch the news or spend any length of time on social media, would be hard to miss. And it's the images of starving babies, toddlers, kids, and even some adults, particularly the ones at a late stage suffering from malnutrition with the swollen stomachs, because that is an image that some of the older people amongst us have probably seen before in other parts of the world. Although there's only one set of circumstances that I recall where this was caused through war. And it reminds me of something I saw when I was quite young growing up. And this is in reference to the Biafran War. I came across a book once. I mean, this was 54 plus years ago. It happened, this is the war that took place in Nigeria, civil war, and it happened the year that I was born, as a matter of fact, 67. So I was too small to actually see any of this on TV or in the papers, obviously, though. As I grew up, I remember seeing a book one day, picking up this book, and almost immediately thinking that, yeah, I probably won't be able to remember some of the images I saw, because they were that shocking to, you know, a 3-4-year-old or however old I was at the time, of well, the kind of images that come out of a war zone, not just starving, hungry people. This was yeah, anything you can imagine. Anyway, the reference though is the images we're seeing across our screens now with what's happening over in the Middle East, specifically Gaza. And you can almost describe that as a real life Hunger Games, at least when it comes to the aid organization that's providing food, when they say when they can, and people are coming from all over the area, sometimes having to walk for miles, little children, adults, men, women, to try and access this said food and feed their families, be it a sack of flour, a box of something, anything they can take home to eat. And they're not always being successful, at the risk of being either unalived or potentially badly injured. So it's a very tragic set of circumstances, and the fact that there seems to be a sort of change in the air, not in a practical sense, not in any like real solutions that I see any organizations or nations getting together to come up with, though just the fact that it's been seen, heard, and spoken about more now is I guess it's something. So yeah, I don't think, as far as food being used as a weapon of war, I don't recall seeing anything like that, except for the example that I referenced being the Biafran War in 67. And yeah, that really got the world to take notice. And I believe around that time. So it takes shocking images sometimes to shake people, wake people up, and get people to take notice of those who are not in a position to help themselves, as the case might be. So to make this doubly disturbing is the fact that this could be described as a man-made set of circumstances. If you think that there's food, like, I don't know how many miles away, if that, from where you have people who are starving, desperate for medical supplies, or just desperate to, you know, put some biscuits in their children's hands, mouths, to give them some nourishment and some calories for the moment to keep themselves going. I hope this is a moment where we're going to experience some kind of change, and some humanity is going to come into the frame, and some actions are going to be taken to rectify or turn around this famine that has evolved over quite a few months. And now we are at the very extreme end of it, or the beginnings of the very extreme end of it, where you're just looking at numbers of people who probably won't make it through the day. And that's a very sad concept to have to consider. Thing is, coming back to this Biafran war situation, from what I recall, at the time, the West hadn't seen images like that before on their black and white TV screens or in the newspaper. And also, they, sadly, I guess it kind of sort of imprinted an image in the psyche of many people in the West that is what you're going to see if you go to some parts of Africa. You know, kids with flies on their eyes and swollen bellies. And we have seen that since then, you know, rarely down to, well, sometimes due to war. I don't think on this scale and in a way that it can be rectified, and it's not being rectified for whatever the political reasons might be or not be. It's a very sad state of affairs. And I'll just close by saying again, it's almost like the real life Hunger Games, for anyone who knows the movie, where, you know, people are struggling for their survival, and this is just something that, fortunately, it appears to be man-made. Anyway, I'll leave you with that for now, and I'm going to come back on later with Dan Keck, and we're going to do our usual show, and we're going to go further into this matter. So thanks for spending some time with me, Owen Uaji at CornerSpeak. Be good, be safe, be creative. I'm out, and I'll catch you later this evening.